Yeah, boy. Ooh, hello there. It seems we have gotten a package today. I am very excited. This is the second garden update that I'll be posting. Part of this is gonna be filmed at home, but got this in today at work. My brother brought this with the mail that he got from the house. This is absolutely awesome. We've been waiting for about a week now for these to come in. So, new seeds, mammoth snow peas, freeze well. They be great in homemade chicken teriyaki, stuff like that. Butternut squash. This will be a succession planting where all the squash are now. And probably where I'll probably plant pumpkins where the potatoes are going to be at. Next, red and yellow. Oh, look at these. These are perfect. I'm going to probably freeze a lot of these. And these would be great just cooked right into a sauce. Like just throw them in the pan, cook them on low till all the moisture comes out of them. Put them together in a sauce. Can't beat it. Now we got carrots, two types. Scarlet Nantes and the red cord Chantenay. I guess that's how you say it. I don't know. And then these are the ones I'm most excited about. I'm really big into and getting even more into natives. Native plants. Look at these fellas right here. Bergamot. This is a very important one. I love bergamot. Smells awesome. Do a lot with it. And it is a hardy grower in our area. Next, black-eyed Susans. Black-eyed Susans are underrated. Unbeknownst to me, the only coneflower that actually grows in our native growing zone that is a native wild plant is the gray-headed coneflower. Yellow and purple coneflower are not technically native to West Tennessee. So kind of sad about it, kind of not, really don't care. I'd rather plant the natives when I can and maybe just have a couple of non-natives for extra bird food basically, because birds will come in and they'll eat the seeds off of the seed heads during the fall time, and they're still going to be good enough to eat off of the purple and the yellow. I've only got one purple. It'll be okay. Milkweed. This is a butterfly milkweed. This is the native version of what we get around here. I'm not a tree hugger. I don't believe that humans are less valuable than Mother Earth. You know, that crap. So I say that to also say that our native wildlife populations and native plant populations are incredibly important. And I hate to see them just be decimated the way that they are. Hate seeing them being decimated the way that they are now. Bringing in some native monarchs and some beautiful butterflies into our area would be a godsend. Last but not least, Eastern Red Columbine. This is beautiful. I love Eastern Red Columbine. It is one of my favorite ornamental plants. The flowers on them are so cool looking. They are almost like a cardinal flower, but they have a little bit different shape. And they have these beautiful yellow stamens and inner parts of the flower. They're awesome. So, last two things. Texas early ground onions. I want to grow onions this year. These are onion seeds. Everyone that I've ever talked to, including my family, my mom, when she does her planting, when she's planted onions from the onion starts, they don't do very well at all because onions are biennial. They grow the first year to grow big bulbs, and then the next year they put all their energy into growing seed. So growing from seed will make this first round of onions give us beautiful big onions. Then if you leave them in the ground to overwinter them, then the next year, whenever it's time for planting season, you'll have these big onion stalks that'll put all their power into growing the flowers, which then leads to you getting seed from that onion. So that's as important. And I'm probably going to also, I don't know if I'm going to grow any this year or just next year, but also there's another flat of Italy or something like that. It's like a purple onion that'd be great for pickling or just having raw on top of a sandwich. And I'm probably going to grow those as well. I don't know if I'm gonna do it this year because I've already got a lot of stuff lined up. Last but not least, Tangle Interests sent a free mesclun baby green seeds. I'll probably plant these. Maybe even get them to my mom. Not a big fan. I don't. I probably won't use any. I'm not planning. Oh my gosh. I'm not planning on doing any greens this year, and it's a little. Maybe it's a little late. Maybe it's not. I'm not really sure. Because there's, of course, you have 100 different opinions when it comes to growing things like lettuces and leafy greens and how bitter they're going to be by the time that they are fully grown. Because it could jump up to 95 degrees in the next month and stay there the rest of the summer. So we're just going to probably hold on to these. These are all the seeds that I got for this session. I have I think 10-pound order of Yukon Gold seed potatoes coming in next year, or coming in next week rather, and those will be planted in the bed that I'm going to show you guys right now. So we're back in the garden. It has been way too long since I've been able to film this second part of this video. I filmed kind of one the other day. Complete hot garbage, so yeah, I'm not going to use it. It just wasn't worth it. So we are back with another update on the garden. Been a few hiccups, some bumps in the road, but all's well that ends well at this point. I don't know if we're going to reach the goal of having a lot of food this year. We might have a lot of some things and some of some others. But the biggest update has really just been what has been added to this and what has come up. So, hey, filming there, bud. Anyway, so we obviously, I left to get Haley before the carrots were germinated properly. I was a nervous wreck the whole time about it. I was really worried that they wouldn't germinate at all. Well, I got back and they did amazing. Absolutely filled to the brim with carrot starts. I'm having to thin them out way more. I think I planted way too many seeds. I used basically the entirety of both packets, and now I think about them, like 1,500 seeds. I've probably used way too many. But it's just a learning experience. The other learning experience part of that is I'm never going to use that kind of mulch again in this type of setup. It's going to most likely be for annuals, just some sort of grass clippings. It's going to die back really quickly and turn into just an amendment for the soil. It is going to produce a lot of nutrients immediately as opposed to long lasting. But even this stuff, this was just like a mix of cypress bark, and then the one on the back side on the left where the tomatoes are is a chipped shredded wood mulch, and it's actually died back pretty well. And I didn't do a huge thick pile of it. And obviously some more weeds have come up than I wanted to, but the speed in which things are decomposing compared to the amount of weeds I'm getting is pretty good in between. I'm getting some weeds, but then I'm just pulling them out and dropping them on top right before it rains or before I water, so that it becomes a fertilizer quicker. It's doing good. I'm actually excited. Another thing, the tomatoes went completely crap. Had maybe 3 or 4 come up. The rest of them died before I got back, and they just didn't do well. So had a little bit of a mix up in the plan. I bought starts. I do have seeds still, and in one of my bags over there, I'm actually starting some tomatoes from seed later in the season. Might work, might not. It probably will be fine. It'll just be a little bit later in the season for a really good, decent harvest. But from those, that'll be the cherry pole tomatoes and the San Marzanos. I think they'll do okay. I'm gonna obviously have to put some sort of trellising for them up in the garden, and then take some more mulch of some kind, maybe just some grass clippings, honestly, and put them around it and let it decompose slowly around the whole thing, and just use a piece of bamboo or just an old twig or like an old limb that I can just dig into the ground to hold them up, since they're a bushing variety. Except for the pole tomatoes, I'll have to put those on the other side. So right now we've got Cherokee purples, pole tomatoes, but right now we have Cherokee purples, chocolate cherries over on the other side where the blackberries are, and then I'm starting from seed the San Marzanos and the pear pole tomatoes. It's like a red and yellow variety. The squash has done very, very well. Way better than I expected it would. It's one of those things where I'm finding out absolute majority of things that you will see in a store can most likely be planted from seed very easily without having to worry about your plants just crapping out on you. I think the one thing that I may do continuously, just in case, have a second backup, would be tomatoes. Because starting tomatoes by seed in ground can work, but only if you have the quality ground that I don't have right now. Mainly just clay with a layer of like a mulch kind of over the top of it. It's okay. It's not bad. Obviously, it's been enough to give us this so far. We also, another thing I forgot to say, we have potatoes starting to pop up out of the ground. I don't think the onions are going to do very well. They just kind of stopped. There's a few shoots coming out, but the ground is very, very hard clay. And I did not aerate it or anything. I didn't go back with a broad fork or a tine fork and aerate the soil. So it's pretty hard. I think that'll probably keep that from happening, but I'm okay with it. The onions were very cheap to store normally anyway, so I'm not gonna store it later and just try again next year. And then right from my direction over in the corner, which you guys aren't gonna see because I don't, OPSEC per sec. Throw the gun words in there. Oh, remember Gun Gut channel? Hey, yeah. I found some wild black raspberries just in a corner right along the wood line where most things do very well because you're getting a lot of sun and a lot of nutrients around that wood line. So we'll have some good blackberries, some raspberries. You may even see a peach or an apple or two from the trees in my parents' house because those are still there, except the peach tree. One of the peach trees died. It was absolutely my fault. I planted it below the rootstock like a dummy, and that tree died. So, not good. Though the other peach tree is doing phenomenally. The apples are doing very well too. I doubt we'll see any fruit off of those this year. And if we do, we're probably gonna just go ahead and pop them off and dedicate this season as well to growing the tree itself and not the fruit. Kind of to go along with this video, I made a post on Instagram last night. Some of you guys might have seen it. If you didn't, it's okay. Not a big deal at all. The post was basically like this. There is so much going on in the world right now. There is geopolitical problems, U.S. problems that we're all facing right now. Increasing gas prices, Iranian war, increase in taxes, increase in inflation, lots of just nothing is stable right now. There's all kinds of information floating out there, some true, some false. And the two things that I've tried to hold on to the most, obviously the most important being Christ. Through all of these hard times, the uncertainty, the scary parts of the world that we live in, that we're forced to deal with every day, we have to remain faithful as Christ is faithful to us. We can't forget that, because without him we couldn't get anywhere. We couldn't do anything without him, and without his mercy, without his grace, and without his holding the universe together with the power of his word. Nothing would ever get done. And because he's faithful to us, we must remain faithful to him. The second has been this garden. This has kept my mind off of so much, and it's calmed me down on the days that I have been just bombarded with Instagram clips and Facebook posts and podcasts online going over all of the people's things they do bad in the world, and I'm like, I get so tired of it. I want to be informed. I want to know my history. I want to know where we come from. I want to know why we're here. Scripture and real, true history will tell us that. But sometimes you gotta take a break from it. You can get so overwhelmed that it can cause depression and anxiety, and those things you don't want to have in your life, because they can both take over your life, and including, but not limited to, even destroying your faith to some extent. It may not, if you're a saved Christian, you can't be plucked from the hands of Christ, but it can make you very, very nihilistic, even as a Christian. And we need to avoid that at all costs. So, this has been my sanctuary. Every day when I get home, I'm coming out and hanging out. Every day when I wake up, taking the dogs outside, coming and checking everything, just looking at it, enjoying the creation that we've been given, and enjoying the outdoors that we have. And so, if you guys are feeling like there's so much going on in the world, you have to understand that you can't keep your head buried in the sand. You have to know somewhat, at least, what's going on in the world. You must remain informed, but be very careful where you're getting your information from. Be very careful who you're getting it from. Be able to sift out the good from the bad, even from people who you might disagree with on the majority of all of their beliefs. They could say something that's very correct and you can use it for your life. Someone who is with you on all of their beliefs, they might say something that is so utterly false that you have to condemn what they say. So just try to calm yourself down. Find something that can take your mind off of all the pressures of the world, whether it's reading, painting, playing cards, even video games to an extent. If you need 20 or 30 minutes, don't make it all night. Don't sit on the game for 8 hours, but come home. Maybe play some Red Dead Online for a little while. Be a good dude in there. Don't be like me and forget every once in a while. The right trigger makes you shoot people on accident. I have an issue with that. Well, that's just about all I've got for you guys today. Next project I'll be working on, when I can afford it, Tennessee recently changed their deer season to include 1 week before rifle season. So the 2 weeks of muzzleloader, the second week of muzzleloader is cartridge time for straight walls. So might be a CVA 350 Legend in the future that we're going to be working on and painting and setting up as a little deer gun for scouting around the woods and everything. That'll be coming up for next year, for next deer season, I should say. What else? New projects. We're going to probably go out and have a little ruck or walk around the woods, maybe morel hunt and ramp hunt for the next video, and may do a voiceover for one of the writings that I've done in the last little while. You guys seem to enjoy some of those before that I've done. I've got a few that I've worked on for a little while and edited and changed a little bit, and kind of got to their final formations. So that's coming down the pipeline soon as well. But yeah, I guess that's it for you guys. So I appreciate everyone who watches these videos. Thank you so much for the support. It means a lot to me for me to be able to talk to you guys like an idiot and ramble on like I always do with everybody else, and for you to somehow enjoy it. I don't know why, I don't know how you guys like watching the videos, but you do, so I appreciate it. Anyway, God bless. Thank you all. Have a great rest of your day.